Hey guys, this is Kieran from MSK Physio, and today we're looking at that transition between half kneeling to standing. So it's pretty much a lunge, but we're not going to go all the way upright. It's nice sometimes to pause at certain ranges where we've lost control. And so if you feel like you lose your balance when you're trying to get from down on the ground up to standing, this will be a really nice, useful exercise for you. Start with, we don't need weight for this exercise, but it's there as an added challenge if you feel that you've already got control of your body weight. If you're finding that you're wobbling as you come up through this even without extra weight, then maybe just stick with your body weight to start. That being said, sometimes weight can be assistive. So weight is an external thing. It's an external thing that gives us feedback about where we are in space. And having a weight in one hand or both hands might just make you a little bit more aware of where maybe you could create some tension in your body to help keep you from falling over. So we'll go over both sort of options and you can see what that looks like. But to start with, we get into the half kneeling position. So let's put these out of the way. Now, tall kneeling or full kneeling is both knees on the ground. Half kneeling, one knee on the ground. I don't come up with these names. I don't even know if there's like a glossary somewhere, but this is kind of the commonly, I suppose, common definition of how these terms are used. Anyway, I digress. So half kneeling. Now, this is a position where we use to transition, whether it's from standing to sitting or from sitting up to standing, or maybe this is just a spot where you've stopped and you're doing work. Maybe I'm down here doing some stuff. Maybe I've been in this position doing some stuff and I need to get back up. So it's really useful when, as we talked about in the intro, to pause sometimes where you're struggling with a movement. And that pause just gives you a moment to bring some awareness to where you're not building tension. Now, the tension that we're looking for in this, one is reflexively, in that if I lean forward, my back, my neck muscles, and these muscles back here, they're all going to just kick in. And if they didn't, I'd fall over and I'd probably have something a little more serious going on. Conversely, the other way, if I was leaning back, I don't have to tell these to switch on. They're just switching on, otherwise I'm going to fall backwards. So we don't have to activate as such. We just want to maybe try and replicate some positions that make muscles kick in reflexively. Some of that will be determined by your flexibility as well, or your ability to get into a range. Other muscles maybe aren't as reflexive, or at this stage aren't as reflexive because they haven't been used in that way in a while, and you've got to kind of maybe reteach that. So first step usually is to get the range back and then learn how to control that range. For this, a lot of people will focus on the front leg, and that's totally adequate and totally useful. I could have very little weight on my back leg and I could go all the way through the front and step up. Nice option. Another useful option though is to drive that way with my foot. Now by doing that, it's going to create hip extension through here. It's going to create a force with my hip extensors and my plantar flexors and my toe flexors to push that way and push me forward. So as I come up, I'm pushing. You can't see it because my leg's not moving, but I'm doing that into the ground. Maybe a little less forceful than that, but I'm pushing. And so what happens is I create a tension which allows me to feel way more stable. And now I've got two legs helping me get up instead of one. So let's stop partly on the way up. So if I push and stay here, that knee's only just off the ground, and stay here and create this tension of pushing back, I'm going to build more competence here. It's kind of like it's easier to ride a bike when it's going faster. If you go a bit slower, you're going to have to learn to control the situation. So you might find that I give you that cue and you can skate right through it. But if you slow down a bit, find the spots where you're a little bit shaky, then you might find there's some gold to be had. Add a little bit of stimulus with some weight. You could throw in a row. You could throw in anything to perturb you or throw you off balance, or just add a challenge of, can I keep this still while I keep somewhere else moving? So if I come into that position again, I've got the weights, I create my cue, I'm pushing backwards, lean forward a little bit, I could row, I could do both hands, I could even press whatever floats my boat. And as you get more comfortable there, you're going to feel like these can really kick in and you can rely on them to help you get up. So a nice half kneeling transition and a nice way for you to start building a little more awareness in how to use your hip extensors on the back leg. And this is also something you would use during a lunge. So if you haven't been, try it and see if you're getting a little more out of the exercise. If you like this video, then please hit like below. Otherwise, to check out more of our content in the future, you can subscribe to our channel by clicking our logo over here. And to check out our latest video, click up here.